A fresh development, meanwhile, has surfaced after the meeting of Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. According to sources, negotiations are still on terms of Yediyurappa's resignation. He has assured Prime Minister Modi that he will be accepting all directions, if and when, coming in from the Prime Minister or from the party, which includes willingness to step down if the Prime Minister asked him to. Yediyurappa, according to our sources, has assured BJP top brass that he is committed to the party ideology. Sources reveal that Yediyurappa's primary condition, however, set for resigning is to include for future his two sons in a central role. The BJP top brass will likely, according to our sources, begin the hunt for the successor. And there are already names coming up. Senior leaders of the party, B.L. Santosh, Prahlad Joshi, could be considered as top contenders. However, sources close to Yediyurappa have said that from his side, no resignation is coming anytime soon, and he's set to complete 2 years in his office. And remember, just a few days ago, Shobha Karandlaje was added into the Union Council of Ministers and is part of a plan for Karnataka changes. Possibly, she's also seen as a close aide of Yediyurappa. Could there be now rejig in the Karnataka BJP coming very soon?
Yesterday I met Prime Minister. We discussed in detail about the development of the state, and again I will come back to Delhi on first week of next month, and I will discuss in detail. These are all things. There is no value for that news.
So as of now, you have not resigned, sir?
Not at all, not at all, not at all. We have discussed in detail about the development of the party in the state and also in the country, and given so many instructions to build up the party in Karnataka, and he is having very good opinion about me, and you are the only man to work day and night and come back to the power in Karnataka. For that I agreed, and I will do full time, and I will work for the party to come back to power again in the Karnataka.
What are the reports in the background of a possible replacement? Why could B.S. Yediyurappa be replaced? Let's take a look first. The party is planning to expand in Karnataka and in southern states. Could he jeopardize the party's planning? Could he sabotage the grooming of a new face, a younger face? Remember, Yediyurappa is almost 80 years old already, unlikely to go for the next elections in Karnataka. BJP will want to look for a successor. The opposition and the dissenters have mentioned court cases against Yediyurappa, and that has made his position at some level untenable. However, importantly, BJP has been promoting Lingayat leaders. Remember, Lingayat community does have a lot of clout and both muscle and money with regard to Karnataka politics. Yediyurappa is also not seen as a hardcore Hindutva leader. He has been associated with the Sangh, but also has a mind of his own with regard to the workings there on the ground in Karnataka. His exit could pave way for better governance, as is being claimed by dissenter MLAs within the BJP and, of course, with regard to the opposition as well. Siddharth Zurabi, Managing Editor, Business Today, now joins us for the latest on that. Siddharth, you've managed to get a lot of scoop on this developing story as well. But it is interesting, like you were mentioning earlier as well, why shouldn't this meeting between Yediyurappa and the Prime Minister be seen in isolation? That there have been changes in the past and it is reflective of the times to come in Karnataka BJP. Siddharth.
Well, there are several elements to this story, and I managed between our last conversation and now to also speak with some more BJP party insiders with respect to what is really the situation on the ground. Two things, and I repeat this. As far as the 2-year tenure bit is concerned, we know that that gets over later this month on the 26th. When he was sworn in, he had already crossed the age of 75. Now he's closer to 78. What is the rationale behind such a change? Point number one, the inclusion of Shobha Karandlaje in the Union Council of Ministers is primarily being seen, and I say this after speaking again on this matter with insiders, is in some ways being seen as part of the overall game plan for Karnataka. The second most important priority is that if Mr. Yediyurappa has to make way for a new leadership, perhaps a younger leadership, obviously, then it has to be done keeping in mind that he is one of the oldest stalwarts as far as the party is concerned, especially in a crucial state like Karnataka, which is very significant as far as the overall RSS and BJP expansion plans for the South are concerned. You made that point. So it cannot be a change which will be forced upon Mr. Yediyurappa. What will he seek in return? There are, of course, those reports about his sons and others. We really don't know how the BJP central leadership will respond to that. The fundamental point in terms of the timing, once again, different views. But as far as timing is concerned, the BJP insiders seem to suggest that it would be done with enough time left for the next assembly election, and therefore no disturbances should happen. So it's all adding up, and like I told you earlier, 6-7 months ago, the in charge for the BJP on behalf of the BJP for the state of Karnataka was also changed. There have been other changes, and we could see all of them coming together, at least in terms of the public move to ask Mr. Yediyurappa to make way for a newer leadership in the state. Who will that be? How will the Lingayat Brahmin politics be managed? Is not something that we should speculate on at this moment. Remember, the Lingayat Samaj is not just confined to Karnataka, but in the adjoining parts of the state in Maharashtra, Mr. Yediyurappa has an appeal there as well. So there will be multiple calculations.
So what you're telling us is very interesting, that definitely some deliberation is on, as Siddharth is telling us, but there's likely not going to be a sudden immediate decision, and the BJP would want to think it over before finding a replacement. Remember, one of the few southern states that are ruled by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they would want to ensure that the vote bank is in place. Thank you so much, Siddharth.